are now listening to the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys. The Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys is a John Mitchell story and is brought to you by Cine Downloads. Narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Previously on the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys...
Okay, to do that we'll need to contact the Illuminati and ask them to make the cover-up national.
We are the spokesman for the Illuminati. We have been sent to you to arrange a business transaction as you have need of the Illuminati's abilities.
Let's call in some professional pest controllers for these supernatural monsters.
Now the next part of the story. Episode 7. Back in the executives' conference room, the executives have all sat back down around the table, and the chief executive once again stands at the front. He looks around at them all and then asks,
So, what have we found out about the demon pest controllers? Do we have any solutions that we can use?
The Development Resources Planning Manager stands up and walks over to the front. The Chief Executive stands aside as the Development Resources Planning Manager plugs his laptop into the TV on the wall.
Okay everyone, I have put together a 75-page PowerPoint presentation to show what I have found. Please pay attention and ask any questions at the end.
The Chief Executive sits down and speaks to him.
You know, you could just tell us what you found.
Oh no, I've spent 4 hours on this presentation. I have to show it to you all.
The Chief Executive puts his head in his hands.
Just tell us what you have found,
he says through gritted teeth. The Development Resources Planning Manager decides not to antagonize the Chief Executive further and closes his laptop.
So, I have found 2 individual organizations that specialize in dealing with supernatural beings, demons, monsters, basically anything and everything paranormal. Both are originally from China and were founded thousands of years ago in the mists of time. I don't know much about how they operate, but they have near mythical status back in China. They both now have branches across the globe, as they see the rise of evil as a curse on humanity as a whole, and they feel it's their duty to eradicate it, wherever it is found. The first organization is called the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys. The second is called the Shrine of the Flying Attack Dragons.
The executives start laughing. Are you making this shit up? They ask in unison.
No, it's all true. Both organizations are fierce enemies of each other and often compete for the same jobs. They take pride in being the best at what they do.
And they can definitely solve our demon issue, right?
Absolutely. They are both highly recommended. They've been doing this kind of work for thousands of years. There is no one better anywhere in the world. And they seem to have a lot of good reviews on their websites. As far as I could tell with Google Translate, anyway.
Well, okay then. Someone put together a contract for tender, and please invite these 2 companies to bid for it. And I want this wrapped up by the end of the week now. I'm off to play golf.
The hunter opens his army rucksack and empties its assorted contents onto his bed. Now it's completely empty. He widens the opening and then goes off towards his stack of demon containers. The containers are stacked along a wall and are arranged haphazardly. He carefully scrutinizes the labels before choosing various ones. He tries to remove the chosen containers carefully as to avoid the rest of them tumbling down on the floor. He doesn't fancy picking them all up and stacking them again. That's at least an hour's work. Once he's got the ones he wants, he places them into his rucksack, which is quickly filled. He closes it and swings it onto his shoulder. He goes over to his cupboards on the wall, above the sink unit. Inside, the shelves are stacked with chocolate bars, crisp packets, and biscuits. He grabs a whole bunch and stuffs them into his pockets. He'd be out for most of the night and might need the extra energy, he thinks. He leaves his flat, slamming the door on the way out. This causes the wall of containers to collapse all over the floor. He walks down the street towards the city center. The smell of smoke and brimstone wafts gently through the night air. In front of him, 50 feet away, some police are waiting beside a roadblock. There is a curfew in action, and anyone being caught risks being questioned or arrested. Neither of these options pleases the hunter, so he takes a sharp left down a dark alleyway in order to avoid them. He emerges down a side street and continues onwards. Suddenly he stops and moves back into the shadows. Up front is a large, blubbery demon. It resembles a fish from the darkest depths of the ocean as it flounders on the road. Its tail looks as if it's made of metal, and every time it swings through the air, it hits the road with a shower of sparks. The fish looks as if it doesn't have any eyes at all, so the hunter carefully moves through the shadows to reach his destination. He eventually reaches a car park. All the streetlights were smashed some time ago, and the only light is from distant fires. Around him are various burned-out remains of cars, which have been thrown around for fun at some point. The floor of the car park is treacherous with craters and debris everywhere. A shadow emerges from the murkiness, and the hunter readies himself for confrontation. But he soon relaxes as he sees that the figure is the person he's here to meet. This person is old, weary, wears an eye patch, has no teeth, and carries a sports holdall. The hunter looks at him suspiciously and asks,
"You're an hour early. Can't your one eye tell the time anymore? Maybe you should use the other eye, you toothless, piss-stained fossil."
I came early to make sure there wasn't a trap. Why are you here early?
To make sure it wasn't a trap.
Well, it's not a trap.
The hunter nods slowly, and the old man drops the holdall onto the floor, then opens it. Inside, it is stuffed full of crumpled up and stained banknotes. The hunter looks at them.
Those are some nasty-looking notes. Do you sleep with them every night?
All money is dirty. So what do you have for me?
The old man stares with his one eye. The hunter swings his rucksack onto the floor and opens it. His hands disappear inside it, and then pull out some containers. He has a plastic Coke bottle, a DVD case for the movie Big Trouble in Little China, and a tampon container. The names of the demons contained inside each have been scrawled onto paper, which has been attached with sellotape. He hands the containers over to the old man. The old man takes a torch from his pocket and shines it onto the containers to reach the labels.
A slime-dwelling bottom feeder, a festering snot gobbler, and an invasive pus brute.
He hands each container back to the hunter.
God. I've got all three of these demons. They're so common. I even found a snot gobbler in my garden yesterday, rubbing slugs into its face.
The hunter is annoyed and throws the containers back into his rucksack.
I need new demons. Hunter! You keep on trying to sell me the same old boring crap that isn't good enough. I look around at all these demons running amok, and for some reason, I have one of everyone I see. Any new ones, different ones, something interesting.
Okay, I'll keep looking. Stop going on.
The hunter closes his rucksack and is about to leave when the old man stops him.
Wait!
The hunter looks at him.
That demon's box of big trouble. Little China. Does it still have the DVD inside it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'll give you £5 for it.
What? The demon inside is worth 500 at best.
I haven't seen that film for a long time. £5 is my final offer.
You're not buying the DVD, you're buying the demon inside.
£5 is better than nothing, Hunter. I love Kurt Russell in that film.
He waves a stained £5 note at him. The hunter is angry and stares at the old man. But he finally relents and hands over the DVD box. The old man is really happy and hands over a stinky £5 note. The hunter takes the note with his fingertips and pushes it into his pocket. He pulls the rucksack onto his shoulder.
Maybe you should sell the DVDs instead. I'll buy those off you. There's lots of films I haven't seen.
The hunter doesn't reply and storms off into the night. The hunter soon arrives at the home of his next customer. This is an ordinary-looking detached house in a quiet cul-de-sac. The house looks just like any other, with apple trees in the garden and a classic Rover 100 parked on the drive. The only sign that this house was anything other than normal was the demonic protection seals inscribed into the wood on the front door. The hunter knocks on this door and is soon ushered inside.
Come on inside. Come on.
He is taken to a back room where his customer, the man known as the Collector, sits behind a large antique desk. The Collector is an older gentleman whose cultured airs give little away regarding his numerous dealings over the years with the black arts. He greets the hunter with a warm smile. They've known each other for a long time, and the hunter takes a seat across the desk. "I assume you've come here peddling more demons?" the Collector asks. The hunter opens his rucksack and takes out numerous containers and places them on the desk for the Collector to scrutinize.
500 for each. I'm sure there must be something here that you haven't already got.
The hunter looks round the room and sees numerous shelves stacked full of urns, lamps and bottles, each with the name of a demon inscribed upon it. After some time, the Collector answers, "I'm afraid I already have one each of these demons. You have nothing here that I need."
Okay, 300 each, and that's my final offer.
"Oh, Hunter, it's nothing to do with price. You know I always pay well for items I need to complete my collection, but I already have these, so to buy them would just be making extra clutter in my house. More things to dust." The hunter is frustrated. He takes each container back and puts them in his rucksack. The Collector watches him thoughtfully. "Hunter, there are a lot of demons wandering around in this city. In all my years of dealing with demons, I have never seen anything like this." The hunter looks up from his rucksack. "The mass escape of demons from hell is quite unprecedented. In fact, it's unheard of." The hunter leans over the desk.
And what would I know about that?
The hunter asks menacingly. The Collector smiles. "Well, it seems that there are only two ways this army of demons could have left hell. The first is with Satan's complicit approval, which would mean the end of days and apocalypse, or through use of the box called the Inferna Porta. I don't think it's the end of days, as these demons are acting alone with no Satan in sight, and are spending their time doing stupid things like throwing each other through shop windows. There's no plan to their actions, only idiocy. This makes me wonder if the box is being used to open hell and the demons are being released in that way."
I've never heard of that box.
The hunter replies grimly. Strange. I distinctly remember handing you the box when you saved me from being stabbed to death by that Feylemort girl some time ago.
Oh yeah, that box. I don't have it anymore. It was given back to the angels. They must be doing this, those angelic bastards.
I heard that it was given back to the angels, and then one of them later lost it in a game of cards with a big man who wears a safari hat.
I don't know of anyone with that description.
Hunter replies, whilst fiddling with his safari hat. I see. Well, if you do see someone with a box releasing scores of demons on to Earth, make sure to tell them that such actions don't go unnoticed and come with a high price.
High price? Yes, about £500 per demon. I'll be back in a few weeks with some more for you to choose from. And if I see this mysterious man with his box, I will be sure to tell him that he's very, very naughty.
The collector smiles knowingly as the hunter stands up, takes his rucksack and walks out. The hunter is extremely angry as he stamps through the streets on his way home. He's spent so much time and effort releasing these demons, and now he can't sell them the ones that he's got. It's so frustrating for him, especially now with his rent due. Absorbed by his problems, he forgets to be careful as he walks and stumbles into a pair of demons who are busy competing to see who can levitate the most paving slabs from the pavement. The demons and hunter lock eyes on each other at the same time. The demons drop all the paving slabs with a loud smash. The hunter reaches into his pockets for a protective amulet. His hand searches his pocket for the amulet, but can only find chocolate bars and crisp packets. He thrusts his hand into another pocket. Perhaps the amulet is there instead. He pulls out biscuits and more chocolate bars. He curses himself for being such a sweet-toothed glutton. The demons have now recovered from their surprise and are looking curiously at the hunter as he rummages through his pockets and dropping confectionery and baked goods onto the floor. One of the demons speaks to him.
Hunter, I see you have magic trousers that produce sweet things.
The hunter looks up from his rummaging. He can't find the amulet, just peanut M&Ms and Maltesers, so he gives up. He takes his hands from his pockets and readies himself for a confrontation.
Yes, it's me. Are you two looking for trouble? You want to get some revenge on me? Or are you wanting to steal my trousers?
The two demons look at each other and laugh.
Revenge? What for? We're having a most jubilant and pleasant time here on Earth, and we have no need for your trousers.
So you're not angry with me for capturing you and disrupting your lives?
He asks searchingly.
Hunter, we love you.
The hunter is confused by this, and before he can speak, the other demon interrupts.
Come with us. Join us in our festival of wanton destruction and mayhem. You have a rightful place amongst us.
The other demon adds.
Yes, you are the liberator, and you made all this possible. Come with us.
The hunter doesn't have a chance to say no, as the two demons grab him, lift him, and carry him off towards a larger group of demons burning things in the distance. Floyd's mum returns from her holiday.
Hello!
She has a superb suntan and a big smile. She walks into the house and drops her luggage in the hallway. She walks through into the dining room to find Floyd, Melvin, and Ralph. She's happy to see Floyd and rushes over to give him a big hug.
Aww.
He hugs her back, but notices over her shoulder that Ralph and Melvin are smirking at him. This makes him feel embarrassed, so he pulls away from his mum and asks how her holiday was.
How was your trip away,
She
Mum?
tells him it was brilliant.
It was amazing.
And talks
so
about
nice.
how she went paragliding, sunbathing, and how she danced every night. As she talks, she notices that the house looks different. It seems the same, but everything in the house is somehow newer. Then she notices that the furniture is different, and there is a smell of fresh paint and wallpaper paste. She stops describing her holiday and faces Floyd.
Floyd, have you redecorated and changed all the furniture?
Floyd goes red. Ralph and Melvin look off into the distance. Floyd looks over at the other two for support, but sees that they're pretending not to notice. He speaks anyway.
Mum, something happened here while you were away.
Oh my god, what happened?
Oh, it's okay, Mum. It was nothing bad. There was a small fire that started somehow and the place was covered in smoke, so we redecorated and replaced all the furniture and everything else.
Fire? How did it happen?
Oh, we don't know, Mum. The fire brigade said it might have been lightning hitting the roof. But they ran some tests with the lightning detector and they came back inconclusive.
Floyd's mum is horrified.
It's okay, Mum. We put all our money together and replaced everything that was damaged. The whole place is back to normal and probably better than it was before. See, you have a new sofa and a new telly now. A 50-inch Samsung.
Floyd's mum is overcome with emotion.
Thank you, boys, for doing all this for me. It's such a nice thing to do. You must have been so scared.
Seeing that the conversation is going well, Ralph and Melvin decide to join in.
It was nothing, Miss Floyd. The lightning was coming down like a firestorm and smashing the crap out of your roof. But we put the fire out pretty quick, and we were just glad to help.
Says Melvin.
Yeah, that's true, Floyd's mum. I ran outside with an umbrella and the lightning started to follow me, so I threw the umbrella into a river and the lightning went in there. We just wanted to help out.
Adds Ralph.
You boys are so funny. Well, whatever happened, you deserve something nice to eat. When I've unpacked everything, I will cook us all something special.
The three of them look very happy. Melvin and Ralph slap Floyd on his back and give him a thumbs up. Floyd gives a sheepish smile. As Floyd's mum walks out of the room to collect her luggage, the three long-haired Goths lean towards each other to have a clandestine chat.
Look, guys, we've spent all the concert money getting the place fixed up. We now have nothing left. Absolutely nothing.
Says Melvin.
Yeah, that was all the cash. It's all gone. We need a new idea now. We need to make some more money.
That's Floyd.
Any ideas? Any of you?
The other two sit back and think hard. Floyd's mum comes back into the room.
Cup of tea!
She smiles and
Cup of tea!
offers them all a cup of tea and
Yeah.
goes into the kitchen.
Can I have 12 sugars in
The
mine?
three Goths sit in silence as they think about their next plan. After a few minutes, Floyd's mum comes back with their cups of tea and some biscuits on a tray.
Here you go.
She hands them out and then goes back to unpacking upstairs. Once she's gone out of earshot, Ralph leans in again. The others move in too.
I thought of something we could use to make money.
Says Ralph. The other two pay attention.
Back in the demon's camp, there is a perpetual motion machine.
The other two look at each other and then back at Ralph.
Now that the demons have left the camp, it's just sitting there on its own. We could just go in, grab it, and use it to make millions.
A perpetual motion machine? Are you sure?
Melvin asks skeptically.
You do know that perpetual motion doesn't exist. It's theoretically impossible. Something to do with energy cannot be created out of nothing, or anything, or something, or other.
It does exist. The demons told me about it. They were using this machine to keep the other demons locked up in some kind of energy field, and it's right up there in the camp.
Explains Ralph. Floyd is interested.
A perpetual motion machine? That's ace. If we had it, we could copy it and market it, and we'd end up ruling the world. We could put one inside trains, ships, buildings. We'd put the oil companies out of business. We'd make billions. Think of all the Lamborghinis we'd have.
Okay. We'll go into the camp and have a look for this perpetual motion machine, if it actually exists. If it's there, we'll bag it. If it turns out to be a bunch of demon bullshit, we'll have to think of something else.
All of them agree.
Yeah.
They quickly drink their tea and finish their biscuits. As they're about to leave, Floyd calls out to his mum, saying they're off out for a bit.
We're going out, Mum!
She shouts down that they should be back for 5, as she'll have cooked something nice. The hunter is released from the demon's grip and is dropped onto the hard floor. He looks up to see that he's surrounded by large and grotesque demons. Among them are Yertevgrin, Waifo, and the rebel leader Peditsik. Seeing the hunter on the floor in front of them is most unexpected. He climbs to his feet and faces them. One of the demons which captured him speaks.
We found the hunter hiding in the shadows and brought him over to see you all. He has magic trousers.
The demons are all very excited to hear this and quickly warm to the fact that their liberator has come by to see them. Pedixik is the first to speak.
Greetings to you, our most favored of allies. Our demon brethren extend our thanks to you for your liberation of ourselves from the bowels of hell.
The demons cheer and start chanting for the hunter. Soon they start chanting for his magic trousers.
Magic trousers! Magic trousers!
And he's made to feel that he should give him a demonstration. He pads his pockets to see which of them still contains chocolates and things. Then he waves his hand to the air before dramatically plunging into his pocket and pulling out a packet of crisps. The demons gasp. He plunges his other hand into a different pocket and produces a nutty cereal bar. The demons give a round of applause. One of the demons which captured him addresses the others.
You see the power of his trousers? He can produce chocolates and sweets from them all day long. Bottomless pockets of sweet things.
Your trousers are truly magnificent,
says Pedixik admiringly.
You are indeed full of surprises.
The hunter is happy that he isn't about to be skinned alive and burnt to a crisp, so he relaxes somewhat. Yertevgrin eventually stops applauding, then he inquires,
Hunter, to what do we owe the pleasure of your company?
The demons look forward to hearing his answer. The hunter doesn't want to sour the mood by telling him that he was kidnapped, and rather would be 100 miles away right now. So he decides to appease them further.
I have come to you with some gifts.
This pleases the demons, and they smile at each other. He reaches into his rucksack and takes out the sealed plastic bottle and the sealed tampon container. The demons watch him carefully. With all eyes on him, he swiftly breaks the seals on both items and opens them both. A swirling green mist erupts from both items. The mists become clouds of green smoke which pour out. The smoke then coalesces into the figures of 2 demons, a festering snot gobbler and an invasive pus brute. The demons cheer to see that they've been given 2 new recruits for their army. Pedixik is very pleased.
That's nice.
As the 2 new demons fill into their corporeal forms, they take stock of their surroundings, and they see the hunter looking at them. The invasive pus brute is intensely angry by being trapped by the hunter, and raises his grossly oversized one arm high above his head with the intention of smashing the hunter into the tarmac. Seeing this, Pedixik intervenes by grabbing the arm before it can land its blow. The hunter breathes a sigh of relief. The pus brute spins round to see who would dare interfere. It sets its eyes upon Pedixik and instantly tempers its violent intentions as it waits for an explanation. The snot gobbler, on the other hand, is still furious at being trapped and screams at the hunter.
Why did you trap me in a tampon container?
The hunter is taken aback by the unrelenting fury and tries to argue his case.
I figured that with you being female, you would enjoy it in there.
Female? I'm not female. Demons have no gender, you imbecile.
The hunter wonders at this and looks at the demon carefully. It has 3 giant pendulous breasts, and between its forward protruding hips, he can see what looks like a voluminous vagina. The hunter decides not to continue arguing his point in case he gets killed, so he decides to apologize instead.
Ooh, I'm sorry about presuming you to be female and trapping you in the tampon container. I have learnt my lesson from this.
This pleases the snot gobbler, who breaks a smile.
I accept your apology, little human.
That's very gracious of you. What is your name, by the way?
Janet!
Pedixik steps in and welcomes the 2 new demons to his rebel army. He explains to them that they are now free from the constraints of life in hell. Satan no longer commands them. They're able to exercise themselves with full, uninhibited disregard. He details that the hunter, far from being their enemy, is in fact their friend, their very best friend, as it is he who gave them their liberty in the first place. The 2 demons understand and feel guilty about the way they've reacted to the hunter, so they try to shake his hand to make amends. The pus brute's massive one hand completely smothers the hunter's normal-sized hand when they shake, and when Janet shakes his hand, she covers it with large gobs of snot. These 2 demons are now extremely happy as they feel their first taste of freedom and wander off together into the throng of demons beyond. The hunter desperately tries to wipe the deposit of snot off his hand. Pedixik puts his hand on the hunter's shoulder and speaks to him.
Hunter, you have done and are doing so much for us that we want you to be part of our family here.
The hunter looks round at the crowd of demons and sees all the pus, snot, clotted blood, matted fur, rancid flesh, scales, bug eyes, and random genital protrusions.
Thank you, but I'm happy working solo.
We want you to have a leading role within our group. You can be our honorary human member, a general of chaos or a king of calamity. What do you say?
I appreciate the offer, but there's too much attention on you guys. When the dust settles, I'll be made to pay for my involvement, so I'd rather work quietly, and no one knows what happened with me and you guys.
Pedixik is saddened, but Yertovgrin's curiosity is piqued.
What do you mean? Are you saying that this new realm of demon hegemony will not last? Are you implying that the sun will set upon our new empire?
Look, guys, I told some of you when I released you to not go crazy, and you've gone and done the exact opposite. The authorities in this city will not go away. They will call in specialist demon hunters, very powerful warlocks, wizards and sorcerers to battle you and banish you all back to hell. You're in their realm, so they will have the edge, and they will be making plans to bring you all down as we speak. So no, I don't want to be a part of that, as they will crucify me when they find out what I did.
The demons look profoundly disturbed by the news.
So what would you suggest we do to prevent this from happening?
I don't know about preventing it, but you can take steps to protect yourselves from being banished so easily back to hell.
Pedixik interrupts.
We do not want to go back to hell. We shall never return there. It's not nice. Tell us, Liberator, how may we prevent banishment?
The hunter thinks for a while, then he speaks.
There is a way, but it comes with a price.
The demons crowd around and urge him to tell.
Yes,
Tell us, Hunter.
Tell us, Hunter.
There is an ancient symbol. Some say it was designed by God himself. It has very powerful qualities to control demons.
He takes some of the green snot which covers his hand and arm, then carefully uses it to outline the symbol on the tarmac floor. The symbol is a mesh of triangles and circles with a pentagram motif.
If you brand this symbol onto whatever form you are in, it will fuse your form into this realm. It will make your form into flesh. You will be trapped in your body here, and they will not be able to separate your demon self from this form to banish you.
This is amazing,
explains Pseudokik.
But what is the price we'll pay for this?
Asks Yertogrin.
The price is that because you're made of flesh, you will be unable to use your demon powers. You will be cut off from the magic you derive from hell. If your form is that of a giant monster, then your body will still be strong like a monster. But you won't be able to burn things using your eyes anymore, or levitate, or any other weird shit you guys do.
So we become mortal?
Your body will be mortal, but you'll still be a demon. I guess if your body dies, then you'll be back to being a demon who can be banished, or you may just disappear forever. I don't know.
And if we wish to reverse this mortality, can it be done?
Yes. You just need to burn the symbol off your body. Once done, you will be free again and have all your demon powers back.
This is indeed a grave option, one which must have much deliberation. We need to discuss this intensely to make sure our decision is the right thing to do.
How do we apply this branding? I'm not going back to hell,
interjects Pseudokik. The other demons cheer in agreement, then they start chanting,
Screw hell! Screw hell! Screw hell! Screw hell!
No!
Yertogrin goes quiet and shakes his head. When the chanting eventually subsides, the hunter speaks again.
The symbol must be branded using a white-hot brand made of iron and can be applied anywhere on your body. That's about it.
The demons are hugely grateful for his help, and they crowd round to shake his hand. He tries to avoid shaking them, as the hands pushed forward to him are mostly covered in things worse than snot.
You have done so much for us, Hunter the Liberator. Now, what can we do for you?
Asks Pseudokik. The hunter considers his dire financial situation and replies,
I need some money. My landlord is kicking off about the rent, and my wallet's empty.
Pseudokik nods. He turns to another demon and tells him to retrieve some cash. This demon is a hulking muscle mass with massive claws. It stamps off over the street where a cash point is placed in a shop wall. This demon smashes its claws into the brickwork surrounding the cash point, and with intense force pulls the dispenser completely out of the wall. Once on the floor, it smashes it to pieces with its fists. When it is broken apart, a demon with a smaller hand reaches inside and pulls big handfuls of notes out. It then carries them over to the hunter, opens his rucksack, and crams all the notes inside. The hunter is astounded by this robbery and is very happy to have his money situation so easily taken care of. While this was happening, Wayufo had been whispering into Pseudokik's ear. Pseudokik had agreed with whatever the panda had proposed. He now walks over to the hunter and speaks.
Hunter, we see how you need this thing called money. We understand that it motivates you in some way. We need more warriors here to complete our takeover of the Earth. This is even more pressing. Now you have told us that magical warriors will come after us. So, we propose to give you a supply of this money stuff in exchange for a supply of new recruits from Hell for our army. Do you agree with this offer?
The hunter can't believe his luck.
Oh yeah, that sounds perfect.
Pseudokik and the other demons cheer as they hear his reply. The reporter, his cameraman and the sound guy are sitting inside his news van. He shows them the news feed coming in from around the world, which depicts the demon riots as being conducted by angry refugees. They are stunned to see the blatant lies and cover-up. He tells them that their bosses back at the TV company want them to report on this situation with the same cover story, and that they are to dump all their footage of demons and pretend it never happened. They listen carefully and nod.
But gentlemen, we know that there is a bigger truth out there. They can try to squash this and keep it quiet. They can try to shut us down and stop us from speaking the truth. But we have a duty to make sure that the public hears what is happening. The public has a right to know when they are being manipulated. We have a duty as reporters to show the world our video, which shows exactly what this cover-up is, and exactly how big this goes. Tiffany fucking Slut Towers may be in the spotlight reporting all this, but we know that she is only reporting lies. It is our duty, and more specifically, it is our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to report something beyond amazing. This video, when we complete it, this video when we have filled it completely with the truth about the demons, why they are here and why it's being covered up, this video will make us all world-famous reporters. We must complete this video. Are you two with me?
Nah, not really,
replies the cameraman.
Yeah, I don't want to get fired. My job is nice and cushy. I'm not risking it for glory hunting.
Adds the sound guy. The reporter is flabbergasted.
But this is the greatest story you will ever be a part of. Do you really want to spend your time making news about an escaped fish or news about a missing pen?
Well, yeah, that sounds easy.
Damn right. I'll take an escaped fish any day. 10 minutes filming, and the rest of the day off with pay.
That's it, buddy. Why rock the boat for a bunch of glory crap?
Because...
The reporter is rendered speechless.
Look, if you're going to continue with this video, that's fine. Here's the footage and sound we've shot. It's all yours. But we're out.
The cameraman hands over a USB stick to the reporter, who accepts it with trembling hands.
Now we've got to drive the van back to HQ. I'm sick of this town. It sucks ass. I want to get back home and jump in my hot tub. So if you want to stay here, that's fine. But you've got to get out the van.
The reporter has tears in his eyes, but grudgingly accepts the situation. He gets up and exits the van. As he steps out onto the road, he turns to say one last thing, but the sound guy slams the door shut as the cameraman swiftly starts the engine and drives off as fast as possible. The reporter stands there in the road, sadly clutching his USB stick. This episode was brought to you by Cine Downloads. Narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Today's episode featured Doug Bradley as Yerter Griffin the Demon, Michael Berryman as Chief Exec, John Altman as the Hunter. Other voices provided by Lee Valentine as Pkedgik, John Lee, John Mitchell, Ira Miskovich-Harrell, Brandon Armitage, Sean Gregson, Beverly Griffiths, Lee Norton, Gina B, John Ian Dredge. Written, produced, edited and directed by John Mitchell. Co-produced by Chris Ball Hero. Sound recorded by Louis Thompson, Chris Ball Hero. Sound engineer Andrew Doc Collins. Theme tune by Jed Gray. Thank you for listening, and watch out for the next episode of the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys.